And welcome once again to the Knights of London, London Bridge. Tonight, it's been several nights since the sad death of one of our members, Leon, put to death for his antics in violation of a blood hunt. Now, now we have new people. Well, one new person. We have Rose, Draven, Maximilian, and now Jack. Mr. Jack, who's been staying with Draven the last couple days while they get things in order to begin hunting the hunter. Though, as kindred, you would think that they would be the hunters and everything else would be their prey. But it seems some kind have decided that they should be the ones who are hunted. Let us begin first with Draven and Jack, who've been sharing space for the last couple days.
Alright. Open to Jack sitting on the arm of the couch, looking through his notebook and occasionally marking something. What, though, no one else seems to know.
Draven sitting on the couch beside him, uh, holding open a book and just kind of casually flipping through it, like he is reading, but he's not really paying too much attention to what the words on the page. It appears to be a book of poetry of some description, and he's occasionally glancing over at Jack in his notebook.
Jack sees Draven glancing at him. He turns with a small smile. Having a good read there?
I suppose I'm sort of flipping through looking for any that look particularly interesting. And you?
Just finishing my notes. Not a lot has been going on lately. I was expecting a lot more chaos around here.
Oh?
Yes. This is the first time I've been in an anarch state, so I was expecting more bloodshed, more destruction, that sort of thing.
What's it like where you came from in Ireland?
Hmm. Well, it's not too much different from the everyday life of any other society. We just have different beliefs, that's all.
Such as what? I know barely anything outside of these walls.
Well, I would tell you about it, but I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't be the best to tell you about it. After all, they might think I'm converting you.
Converting. Interesting words to use.
Yes. The societies of this vampiric world, they are just like any other religion. All they want to do is make sure that they're the right ones and that they get their point across to everyone else and make sure everyone believes in them.
It's interesting that you put it that way. I never really thought of it like that. Remembering all of the religion, everything about religion from when I was young, from when I was still breathing, and persecution and just all of that. I never really connected it to this unlife.
I personally never got much into religion. all that hellfire and such for doing a simple natural act just never really connected with me, especially since I did enjoy some of the finer things in life, I suppose you could say.
Ah, I see. He kind of tilts his head and looks at James with Jack with with a brow quirked up and quizzically, almost wondering what he's talking about.
He flips his notebook closed and tucks it into his coat pocket. Well then, shall we go out for a night on the town? I'm bored sitting here all these past nights.
Sounds like a good idea. It would be good to get out for a bit.
Jack stands up, stretching, and starts heading for the door. Do you have a ride of any kind?
We shake his head. I usually walk everywhere.
I suppose that's a pretty good idea. The cool air and mist of London. It feels familiar.
Hmm. He walks over to a small hall closet and grabs a coat more out of habit than need, and puts it on.
Jack opens the door for Draven. After you.
Why, thank you. And he steps out and stands right by the door, waiting for it to be closed so he can lock it and make sure everything's in order.
Jack closes the door and lets him walk up. So, where would you suggest to go?
He thinks about it for a moment, kind of wondering, remembering what's around, and his brow furrows as he thinks. Oh, there's a few eateries around. There's a library. There's some shops here and there. There's plenty of places you can get to from around here.
Wasn't quite expecting those kinds of thoughts. I was expecting something a bit more exciting from you. I was expecting perhaps I don't know, nightclub or something. You seem like that sort of person.
You do know of two Kindred-owned clubs in the city, Draven?
Okay.
You know of two Kindred-owned clubs?
Okay. There's a couple clubs up to the north, I believe, that are owned by Kindred that we could probably visit.
Yes, how about we head to the nearest one? I need myself a strong drink.
Sounds good. And he starts heading in the direction of one of them.
And Jack follows close by.
You guys will walk for a few minutes before you reach said location. The club, titled the Blood Moon. As you approach it, though, looks to be pretty dead, so to speak. There's not the usual little line out front. Doesn't even look like there's bouncers out front.
So exclusive, not even the bodyguards can get in.
Draven kind of cocks a brow, tilts his head. That's odd. There's usually more people lined up outside.
Well, only one way to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And
Jack
he walks up. Sorry, go ahead.
Jack walks up to the door and knocks on it.
As you're reaching up to knock, you notice that there's a sign on the door.
I glance to it.
It's a notice from the police. Due to the events that occurred here, and it says a date, the night in which Maximilian and his friend were here and found people dead and the floor covered in blood and people missing. And from that date until further notice, this bar is closed and will not be open for business.
Someone's been holding out on me as I look at Draven.
He looks at Jack. No, I haven't. I haven't been down here in a few weeks. I didn't even know this happened.
Jack pulls out his notebook. Oh, that's an interesting turn of events. I wonder if it's like this anywhere else in the city. Well, in the meantime, you said there was another club somewhere around here?
A little further up. And he starts heading up in that direction.
That one's called the Dark Martini. And you guys venture up to the other club. And as you approach the front door, this place usually has live music going, but it's eerily quiet.
Ooh, something happened here as well?
I'm not sure. Everything. The nightlife's usually so much more lively.
This coming from the dead.
Yes. He walks up to the door.
And at the door you see a very similar note, and it has the same date on it.
What on earth is going on? And he picks up he lifts the notice up a bit to read it. Both of them?
And on the same day, too. Something's obviously been happening.
Yes. I wonder if he starts quietly. He trails off and starts kind of looks over in a random direction, thinking, and falls absolutely quiet.
Quite curious. But I guess I know one person who might know. Jack pulls out his phone, starts dialing Maximilian's number.
Maximilian, your phone rings.
Maximilian's been taking the time to end up, well, more acquainting himself with some of his lads. It's taken a bit of time, mostly because some kindred who go unnamed ended up murdering Rick, and now he's trying to go through his lads, trying to figure out who it is that's going to be able to end up keeping matters in line. Well, he's having a discussion, business meeting, as you will. Sit in the back of the truck, surrounded by the boys. And picking up the phone. Yeah, what's up?
Hello, my dear Ventru.
Lads, if you ain't giving me a minute, I need to end up taking this. Yeah, you heard me. Shove off! What the fuck you want?
You've been holding out on me. There's been some exciting things happening around here.
Well, imagine with still gas explosions, it tends to happen.
Well, these places don't seem to have any explosions. But for some reason, the police closed off both of the vampiric bars.
Look, Oh, okay. You was wondering if you're ever going to get more specific. All right. I'm glad you deciding to end up keeping this here, so open in conversation. So, what you calling me for?
You know what I am. I'm here for information, and I want to know what happened. After all, this might have something to do with those people you're hunting.
Oh, it most definitely already does. See, the problem is, it ends up in here taking a bit of time to end up here leveling out after all. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry that your nightlife got ruined, but I'm currently dealing with a catastrophe here, Marl. So,
A
to
catastrophe,
keep
you
it
say?
here short and sweet, you shut the fuck up and then you listen. It ends up turning into a simple case. We ended up here running into here some people. Things ended up here going south, and we're here currently here in the midst of reorganizing. Waits for to double check that everybody's out of earshot. Now, you listen here. As far as that whole shenanigans concerned, those places were already got near shredded up pretty bad, and there's currently here a few people that ended up going missing or dead. Now, we end up putting that little bit to rest. You here currently going on your way. I'm currently going on mine. As far as I'm concerned, our business relationship is continuing when you actually need me for something. Appreciate the update. And yes, you're right. There's very little that goes on in the city that I don't know about. Reason being, yak. It's because they actually end up here taking the time to do something other than amuse myself for an evening. Actually get work done.
Well, I apologize for the intrusion then, Maximilian. However, if you do ever need help with anything, don't forget I am here. My services are to assist you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll keep that in mind. What are you doing? See, who the hell ended up telling you about those particular locations anyway?
Oh, that would be the cutie with me, of course.
For fuck's sake, get him on the phone.
Jack kinda spins the phone in his hand and hands it to Draven. Little Max wants to talk to you.
Draven winces hearing Jack call him Max. Hello?
Right, you end up telling it that bloody, you end up saying that one more time, I'd end up putting the fucking boat down so and end up making sure they chokes on the fucking laces. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, look, kid, I understand. Nights get long, nights get lonely. You're better than this, sir. Especially hanging around with him. You end up taking time to end up making sure that whatever it is that he ends up deciding and dragging you, you keep your fucking guard up. Understand he's an unwelcome addition to the city. And right now, we're just waiting to see if he slips up. If he slips up, well, you were there the first time.
Mm-hmm. He's a good kid.
I'm awfully quiet on me here. No, don't ever confuse that he was a good kid. All right, he was a pain in the ass. Didn't tell the line. Did everything he could to end up bucking everything that ended up going on. And what he ended up getting in the end was his own doing. We are the moulders of our own fate, Draven. You end up here waiting long too long. Everybody ends up here wanting to end up moulding you into something you ain't. So instead, I'm end up giving you these little bit of cautionary words. End up being, listen to what people want to say. Don't take it on faith. Check and recheck. Make sure that everything is in line. Now, is there a reason that you two happen to be doing a bit of bar hopping this evening?
Mm-hmm.
Would you care to fill me in on what that is?
Just bar hopping. We were looking for somewhere to spend time and not be stuck in my house.
Ah. Well, if it's entertainment you have to.
Hmm. Well, more him than me, but...
Well, you won't, Jade. Well, you won't.
I don't know. Something. I feel
He's
like...
going to use that on you.
Hmm?
He's going to use that on you. He's going to end up finding that you don't have much going forward. So he's going to try and drag you along. Now, if you want to keep an eye on him, that's great. I prefer it if you're the one who's calling me. As far as that character you end up having, be very careful around him.
That character.
Yeah, the prick staying right beside who doesn't seem to end up knowing to end up keeping a certain degree of respect, especially on the phone. And seems to end up being a bit loose, even on here. We are living in the age of no wiretaps, my friend.
Hmm. Well, I will do what I can, but he looks at Jack and kind of turns a bit, just almost whisper into the mic. I'll keep an eye on him.
Right, you keep me informed. I'm going to end up hanging up now. And I want, if anything comes up, I want to know about it. If nothing ends up coming up, I want to know about it. And if you end up managing to keep this going, you might just be able to end up keeping your head above water.
I'll do what I can.
Alright. That's all you need to do, driving. Leave it here to Maximilian for the rest. You watch. I'll take care of the people who end up here and working with me.
You can almost hear him smile over the phone.
At that point, the phone hangs up. Alright, lads. We're going to end up getting this here figured out. So, it comes down to one simple business. Which one of you is really willing to step up, and which one of you is just trying to end up getting a new fucking payday?
I must say he was quite the downer.
He wasn't terribly thrilled with you calling him Max either. And he hands Jack back his phone.
Jack takes it. Oh, for all he knows, he might have just... I said Maximilian, but the last bit cut off or something. I don't have the most reliable service here.
Perhaps. But, I'm not sure of anywhere else we can really go to do anything except maybe just walk around a park, but since both of the clubs are closed.
Oh, then. Since I can't have fun tonight, I might as well do some work. Do you
Can you
have
both
to
roll
know?
perception alertness for me real quick?
Yes.
Or was that for me as well?
Yes, both of you.
Okay.
And as we wait, let's see. So it looks like Jack has one success. And it looks like Draven has one success. So, while you guys are talking, you kind of notice a van pull into the parking lot at the far end of the parking lot for this club.
I glance over at the van.
It looks like it has pictures of flowers on it.
Draven arches a brow. Never seen that one around. Not that I can remember, anyway.
Draven, roll me an intelligence check, please. Just straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence?
You actually kind of remember vans like this. There was one across the street when you guys were attacked at the Assaulty Biscuit.
Draven's eyes kind of widen for a second. Oh god, not again.
You were expecting a dozen roses or something?
No, we should probably start walking in the opposite direction. Like now. He turns around.
Sorry, you cut out there for a second. What'd you say?
He says, no, we should probably start walking in the opposite direction. Like now, and give me your phone. And he starts walking.
Hands in his phone. Walks along, kind of nonchalant.
Very rapidly dials Maximilian. Pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up.
That's why I end up taking the boat to him. So you end up remembering who the fuck's the boss here. Right,
Maximilian, one of those flower trucks showed up out here again.
really?
Uh-huh, I'm walking away from it. Very
Not
far
worried.
away. What was the name of the club again?
The Dark Martini?
Out by the Dark Martini.
Right, can you end up, think about this. Okay, right. This is what I need you to do. There's a place not more than 5 minutes walk. Probably, what is it? 5th and Jefferson. It's, house number here 468. You got that?
5th and Jefferson, 468, got it.
Yeah, right. You end up making sure that all ends up going well, and I'll be there. I'll bring some company.
All right.
And if they follow you, just keep going. Don't hold up.
All right. We'll be there as fast as possible.
Oh, right. James, get the lads to get in the truck. Just getting the fucking phone call for the police. This apparently we end up getting B&A. Place on Jefferson, you remember? Yeah, fuck's sakes. Let's take a look at it before we head out. Fuck's sakes.
And with that, what are Draven and Jack gonna head that way, or?
Draven's gonna look at Jack and say, we need to go. I know where we need to go. So we need to keep moving and not look back, even if someone starts following us.
Oh, no problem, dearie. We won't let those nasty roses get to you.
Draven kind of internally is grinning and trying, and if he could, God, if he could blush, he would, but he can't. And he just hands Jack back his phone and starts walking towards the aforementioned house.
Splendid, wonderful. You guys begin making your walk. Are you just gonna walk and not like head down and keep going, or are you gonna be keeping an eye for people following you, or?
I think Draven's gonna keep an eye out to see if anyone's following him.
I will need
I'm
you to roll perception alertness for
going
me
to
then.
become more aware. Huh?
I'll need you guys to roll perception alertness for me.
Right. I need to check about heightening my senses.
You reduce the difficulty by the number of dots you have in aspects.
Right. So 2. Alright, so perception, alertness.
Yep.
Holy shit.
You really don't hear anything or see anything. Because that looks like a bunch of ones to me.
It's 3 ones.
On the upside, for you, the difficulty was 4 because of aspects, but on the downside, it still didn't
The
help.
ones canceled everything.
So, Draven, occasionally you glance back and you'll see the van going by one way or the other on cross streets behind you.
I think they're following us. I think they're following us. Not necessarily directly, but
Eventually, you guys make it to the address since Jack is going to be quiet about it, and maybe he's just not listening to anything.
Sorry, I glitched out for a moment there. I didn't hear anything that was said after I failed.
He said that he thinks they're following you guys.
Well then, just continue on, and if they decide to point their thorns at us, we'll show them our little way of weeding them out.
Draven doesn't look entirely amused at that comment, seeing as his physical prowess is basically nil.
Was that something directed towards me? If so, I missed part of it.
No, it was just Draven's facial expression looked kind of like he's not really sure what to make of the comment that Jack made, since he's not really that strong or worth much in combat usually.
Awesome possum. So you guys begin making your way, and eventually you finally reach the address that Maximilian put forth to you in the phone call.
Draven's gonna walk up to the door and knock on it.
And I would
There's no
be willing
answer.
to bet there's no answer. Yes, just what I was going to say. Nobody answers.
Jack looks around. It doesn't seem like this house is exactly complete.
Draven looks up. Oh, like he wasn't really paying attention. He was just trying to focus on getting away.
Jack opens up the door.
You glance around and you see that the house is very much in the process of being remodeled, redone, worked on. The outside is secure, but the door is definitely locked. Has one of those locks on the door.
I suppose Maximilian would get kind of upset if we just broke the lock off.
A little more than upset, I would think.
Well, all we can do is wait. Just keep an eye out for our little florist.
Draven nods and sort of stands there, almost leaning against the wall by the door, hands in his pockets.
The question is how is it that ends up getting there first? I believe it'd be the florist, but that's what Maximilian's counting on anyway.
Maximilian, do you want to go high or low, Maximilian? High or low?
Low as I can go. Low as I can go.
Well,
Oh.
you're the bottom third, so they get there before you. Because they definitely had the advantage and were ahead of you. But they still get there before you. Not by a whole lot, and you actually see them pull around the corner heading towards the house as you're approaching.
Maximilian didn't come in alone. Two of the trucks pull up, each one coming out with probably a 5-man crew and one four in the other. Maximilian gets out. Another individual standing by his side when he ends up coming out. Looks at the van. Starts walking up to it. Meanwhile, a few of the lads seem to have taken a miss by a few people who seem to be standing outside the home. The people that end up working here, seeing maybe their livelihoods on the line. Maximilian knows the score. He just can't let it on that he does.
So you see the van pull up in front of the house, across the street for them. Draven and Jack see this. Where are you pulling up to?
We're pulling up right in front of the van.
Okay. You pull up in front of the van. You know, several of your guys are getting out of their vehicles here on the block as well. Most of them seem to be walking towards the house, where these two strange men are standing outside.
Yeah.
Wrenches,
Maximilian.
hammers, pipes.
Yeah. Right, lads. Easy, easy. Remember, assault on the partial crime until it's self-defense. Still, he starts walking over to the van, keeping in front of it.
You see several men wearing dark clothing. They definitely don't look like delivery drivers. Surprising. What's this world coming to?
Now, what is this world coming to? In fact, Maximilian ends up taking time to look across and kind of shouts, "You guys see the people that are breaking into the home?"
Is that to his guys or to the people standing out front?
That's to the guys in the van.
Oh, they just shake their heads, nope.
Unfortunately, I need to get you information, so can you pop on out? Need to end up making sure this just keep you clear. I've got a phone call saying people own some properties.
You see them glancing back and forth, giving each other looks for a moment. And one of them nods, and the driver gets out, puts on sunglasses.
A little bit odd. Look, if the sun was coming up, I'm willing to end up here, having some fun all night. But what's with the eyes? Yeah, guy's looking a little. Oh, how should we put this? Anyway, right to it. Right, can I end up? He pulls out a notepad, pulls out a pencil. Good old number 2 pencil. Right, so can I end up getting your name?
John.
John,
Doe.
well, if you're gonna be smart ass about it. Look, lad, my man's pretty fucking upset. Somebody's fucking around with our properties, and right now we're just trying to end up making sure that we can end up eliminating particular bits. But I mean, I don't want you to end up doing anything. I just don't want anybody to get accused, you know. Then all of a sudden it turns into people attacking one another.
I'm guessing that that's going to be a command.
Yep. Because this is going to be self-defense. And let's see. 4, 5. And that's 6. And I don't know what it is with the dice stream wanting to roll or taking stupidly long to load. But yeah. As long as there's not a 1 in there.
So you get like 4 successes?
It actually loaded up faster on my stream than it did in my sidebar.
So you have 4 successes. And I'm assuming the word was attack.
Yep.
And he takes a swing at you.
And Maximilian doesn't even try and dodge it.
Alright, so let's see. So that's that many. That plus that. He gets 1 success on his punch.
Right.
Please roll soak.
There might be a chance that he might deal some damage.
Nope.
But that's not how Maximilian's going to portray it. Now, Maximilian, as soon as he gets shot in the jaw, he kind of goes down to one knee. Oh, fuck! And I can only imagine how the boys are going to react to this.
Yes. How are the boys? Yes. The ones who just saw you got decked and knocked to the ground. They're coming at this guy in the van who, if anybody wants to be involved, can roll initiative, though this will be the bad people's. Well, are any of us really bad? So they'll be in that.
I'm not bad at all.
I wasn't talking about you. So 11 and...
So it was a D10 plus our
Dots in
Dexterity.
dexterity.
Right.
And your dots in wits. Oh wait, yeah, hold on. Yeah, dexterity, wits, and any points in celerity that you might have. So we have 7, 14, and 10. Can you put 9 on yours for me, Miss Rose, so that I have the number out there so I can remember it for the hooligans with pipes and bat clubs and all that happy horse. Please and thank you.
I'll have you know, I only end up hiring the best off the streets because everybody deserves a second chance, a chance to end up dragging themselves out of the solo. I end up employing some of the best people here going. People who need a second chance. Who cares if they got a criminal record? They work hard and they want a second chance at life. And as it inspires a certain degree of loyalty. So,
Oh dear, that
when you
man-
go and attack somebody...
Alright, so we'll be declaring in reverse order. We will start with Draven, please. Draven, what are you gonna do when you see Maximilian get hit and knocked to the ground?
Draven's going to actually like head over towards Max, feigning concern because he knows Max is fine. He's just gonna feign concern. And go, what the was that for?
Okay. That means the boys get to declare next. That means they will be moving quickly to approach this gentleman and this van and begin taking it out on him. Followed immediately by Jack, who's at 10, I believe.
Yes, I am at 10.
What is Jack doing?
He is going to slip around behind the building, slightly hoping that one of the hunters sees him.
Okay. And that leaves the hunters next. The one over Maximilian is going to kick him while he's down. The other hunter that you saw is going to pull a weapon and get out of the car. The other two will also be exiting the vehicle, getting ready to open fire. Next up then is Maximilian. What is Maximilian gonna do?
Well, I always thought that was obvious. Seeing as his boys are about to be shot, he will end up rushing the one hunter getting out of the van, trying to force him back in, trying not to end up giving him a clean shot, trying to end up saving his boy's life. After all, it's only the civil thing to do.
Alright, then Maximilian, you get to go first.
Right.
So that would be
Maximilian.
strength brawl since you're
Oh yeah.
rushing.
Difficulty 10 or difficulty 7?
Yes, please.
Oh, it's a botch.
Okay. You go over there and you're ready to slam him in, and he slams that door right in your face. And I will
Right.
need you to roll soak for 3 points of bashing.
Right, so I got 1 point of bashing on me.
So rounded down, you take nothing, but you definitely felt that door hit your face.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, fuck!
That means you see the side door next to you on that side now open up, and the two men coming from the back, they both have assault rifles. The one in the front only has his pistol drawn and tries to move around you. Give him a Death X Athletics to do so without provoking too much shock and awe. And so he moves around you and begins pointing his gun at your guys. Next up, Jack. You move around the back of the building. It doesn't seem like anybody's following you.
Alright, I'm going to keep an eye from the shadows, watching the events unfold.
Okay. And now I'm just going to do a mass roll for these guys. Between all of them going to town, beating down on this guy. So, let's see, that's 4 points. How much of it can he soak? 1 point. So he takes 3 points of lethal. And he's looking pretty beat up as these guys just start wailing on him with whatever they have in their hands. As Draven, you were heading over towards Maximilian, who's now on the other side. Are you going to spend a willpower to change going over by him? Or are you still going to go over to him and be like, what the fuck?
I'll spend a willpower to change my action.
Okay, what do you want to change it to then?
Basically staying out of the way for the moment, since there's people currently beating the fuck out of everybody else. Doesn't want to get in the way and get himself hurt.
Okay. In that case, that is the end of that round then. So, are you going to stay just out of the way and not get into it at all, or?
For now, yeah.
Okay. That means they're going to continue beating this guy. Well, actually, and we'll see if any of them notice the guy with the gun. Then next would be Jack. Are you going to continue hiding in the shadows and watching?
Yes, I will continue doing so.
Okay. Next up would be the hunters, 3 of whom are going to open fire on Maximilian. The other one who's going to try and get up and draw his gun, scare the guys off. And then we get back to Maximilian.
If that's the case, Maximilian's going to look at the one who... You said there's one aiming for his guys, right?
The guy who's over there being beaten on at the moment is currently trying to draw his weapon.
Yeah, best look at that fucking faggot. You end up taking time to end up messing with the big boys now. Now, Maximilian on this particular occasion ends up near taking... I think it's best if he ends up taking time to end up doing the same and retort by taking that same door that was put in his face and trying to break the man's hands who's trying to end up coming out with a fucking pistol.
Alright, roll me Dex brawl, I guess it would be.
I guess so. Wow! I can't roll for shit! Motherfuckers. Well, Maximilian fails on that attempt, and it moves on.
Alright, so now the hunters. The one trying to intimidate the guys beating on him with a gun. That gun seems to do quite a bit. How well do they even... They're not scared of him. They're like, they've been through jail. They're not scared. They go after him still. They're gonna beat him down. He's proven that he's... So, yeah, they don't buy his shit. And let's see, the first guy with the pistol will shoot quite successfully at Maximilian for an amazing amount of bullet damage. And Maximilian, if and when you're fully loaded in and ready to be shot, I'd like you to roll soak, please. Even if you're not ready to be shot, because you're getting shot.
Yep, I'm getting shot. And yeah, he's getting shredded a bit. 1 point of bruise damage.
No,
No.
no, you're expecting it to just kind of sting, more or less bounce off and be fine. But when this hits, it, you know, you saw the muzzle flare, but it's almost like the bullet was about to catch fire. If you hadn't have been so close, it might have fully gotten a chance to ignite before it hit you. But you're pretty sure that bullet, that it stung. It burned point blank in your chest.
Ah! Ow, you fucker! I'm gonna mince you now, you little... Ah! Fuck. And Maximilian is not happy about this, not one bit.
The other two also fire. Let's see, 2 successes and 3 successes. 2 and 2. Okay, so they're gonna. You'll have 2 from the assault rifle. 1 to soak.
Well, I will end up saying this. Maximilian has a lot of luck when it comes down to these bullets just ripping up skin.
And you'll have 1 point
And-
of bashing to soak on the second assault rifle.
Right. Well, there we go. And all of it's soaked.
Wonderful. So they both let off small little bursts at you. Their bullets definitely are the mundane type. So, since Jack's gonna continue watching, moves on to your boys, who are then going to forcefully bludgeon said gentleman again. Oh, that would have been such a glorious roll. And likely have killed him. And he takes 2 more lethal, because they take lethal from pipes and hammers and shit. He looks like he is hurting. He is definitely hurting right now. He's not unconscious, but he's starting to look a little scared, These guys are beating him to a pulp with little to no reservation. So we get to the end of the round again, and Draven, are you doing anything?
Draven is going to continue keeping out of the way and probably try and find somewhere to hide for now.
Okay. The boys will finish beating down the said gentleman. Jack.
Yes. Did I miss anything? I just had some audio glitches for a couple minutes.
Draven's hiding. The workers are beating.
Alright. How many of the hunters are left?
4. Well, you can see 2.
Just gonna keep my position then.
Okay. And that leaves the hunters next, which means they're going to be shooting it mostly at Maximilian. Maximilian's men are going to get shot at. One of them's going to get shot at.
Alright. The second Maximilian sees the one that's looking at his guys. He ends up here, shouting aloud. Throw. I'm actually, no, Max May would probably end up saying. Shouts to him, throw in the towel. But he's specifically looking at that one individual who's going to shoot at his men.
Alright. Alright, so that'll be wonderful. So you're going to shout at him. Okay, so please roll your...
I'm not a threat to him.
And he throws his gun towards the house because that's the direction he was facing. And then he's looking around like, what the fuck did I just do?
I just armed a whole bunch of the ex-cons with assault rifles, what he just did.
And so then his action was throwing. The one with the pistol may hurt you this time quite a bit. We'll see.
Oh, fuck.
And let's see, that's 4, which means it's 3 plus that. And he's still at point blank range, so there's a chance it won't fully ignite again. So you soak 2 of it, 3 of it, or 4 of it?
3 of it.
Alright, so yeah, it burns again. You can feel this burn. You can even see some singe marks on your suit.
Are these lethal points of damage?
These are.
Or aggravated?
They're not quite hot enough to be aggravated. And by not quite hot enough, like a foot and a half too close. For that chemical reaction to get hot enough and active enough to do anything before it falls on the ground spewing at your feet. The 2 assault rifles. Round number 1. Ooh. He'll get that many. And you'll get to soak up 3 more points of bashing.
Right, and
that one gets rounded down to nothing. And that one gets off that many, and so he gets 3 successes. Wow. And more gets rounded down to nothing. You're feeling this beating, but it's nothing like the minigun into your back. There's definitely a number of bullet wounds in your shirt and your jacket as your boys then go about viciously beating this man. Let's see how much of that he soaks. Ooh, half of it. Unfortunately, that still puts him unconscious and bleeding to death.
Right. That question is, do the lads have enough common sense to end up grabbing the gun?
Well, let's find out. The next round, Draven, are you going to stay hiding? Okay. do the guys think to grab the gun? Yes, one of the guys grabs the gun. The three hunters are kind of freaking out that you're not dead yet. You're not even hardly hurt yet. And they're going to continue shooting you as much as possible. And then it's your turn. Unless Jack wanted to do something.
It seems like
Correct.
things are pretty chaotic right now, right?
Yeah, that's a fair assumption.
Out of curiosity, did the boy, the man who's currently being beaten into unconsciousness, is that Mitzi Full Turd currently leaving? Did he leave the keys in the ignition?
Yes.
And as I understand it, since Maximine's been technically fighting with the back door, it means that the front door is still open and available to him, right?
Yes. Correct.
Now, if I understand the situation, it also means that everybody who's at the back currently got out over the rooftop shooting, which means they're either in the van or in the way of a door.
They came out the side door to button on the side by the sidewalk. There's a side door that opens, and the passenger front door that were open, and you're around that side with them.
Yeah. Right.
Alright.
Maximilian ends up. At this point, then Maximilian is going to roll his way into the driver's seat and drive the van right into the back of the next car, with somebody still in it and potentially clipping the others with the open doors, whatever happens. Still, it opens up for the man with the assault rifle.
Okay. Then I will need
Should this
a
be a drive?
Dex. You have to do Dex Athletics to get into this driver's seat through a combat area, because there's people that are trying to
Okay.
shoot you. It seems perfectly fair to me.
There's
But
one. I got
You
a
make
10,
it
a
in.
4, a 3, a 4.
You get into the driver's seat. You are in that driver's seat.
Alright, let's gun it backwards, shall we?
Dex drive. Please and thank you.
Well, it's not exactly what I'm calling boxy cards, but yeah, somebody's getting their brains rattled.
One of them gets out of the way, but the other two do get hit by the doors and knocked off balance. And that means one of them's only got enough wits about them and in a position to even fire at you, and that's one of the guys with the assault rifle. Which means he hit. Yay! Which means you get to soak a whole 2 points of bashing.
Yeah. Well, Maximilian's fucking at us right now. It's the car comes to a screeching halt. Gone laying there in the middle with his head in the rest, feeling where the bullets would have ended up going in. He's feeling pretty fucking shredded. Nice. What kind of a noise has this been? Nevertheless, grabs hold of the stick shift. Right. And let's see where this noise takes us. Holy fuck.
Alright, and so he took his shot at you. Let's see, your boys, one of them picks up the gun, the others are moving around towards these other guys. And so let's see, they will begin their assail of the first individual. Oh, sweet, wonderful joyousness. There's that, which means the hit, which means we do a cumulative of that. For 3, and he will soak 1. So the gentleman that had been firing the pistol at you is now injured. The guy that picked up the pistol, oh, not good. Doesn't do so well. Maybe he's not as good with the gun as he thought, or maybe the sudden lurching of the van. Let's see. Let's see, there's 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's see, who does it? It hit. He actually ends up shooting you as you slam the car backwards, Mr. Maximilian.
Mom, boy. Mom just shot me.
Yeah, you get 1 point, but as you see this shot coming at you, you see it fully ignite and the white phosphorus burn around it. Please roll fortitude. It hits you and you can feel that burn. You see your jacket burn as it hits you.
For fuck's sakes! Jesus.
Okay, so back to Draven. Are you going to continue doing nothing?
Draven is going to look around and finally actually notice that Jack is gone, apparently missing, and start to remember what he had said to Maximilian and go and try and find him.
Okay. In that case, the boys will continue beating and the other one will continue firing. Jack. You're slipping
Yes.
off into the city?
Yes.
How are you doing so?
I am using the, what's it called?
Obfuscate?
Yeah,
What level of obfuscate do you have?
2.
Wonderful. And then the 3 remaining hunters will fight back against this mob of humans. And so that brings us to Mr. Maximilian.
Maximilian, at this point, is content on driving over that one son of a that getting that van.
Okay.
Trying to end up the one. I believe that means the one with who still has his rifle.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll need a dex drive.
This man is not long for this world.
So roll
How much damage does a flower van cause?
roll 7 dice, please. Because you can't get up to a
for
very
fuck's
high
sakes.
speed.
Only one. If this is damage.
It is. And he gets buffeted by the, what's it called, the bumper, and kind of pushed to the side a little bit, but he doesn't seem too much worse for the wear. And then it moves to them. Him firing it back at you for trying to run him over. And doing 1 point of nothing to you, bashing. And the other guy getting up and trying to re-situate his, what's it called, bearings to fire at you. Surprisingly, he actually gets a fairly clear shot off at you. Much better than the other gentleman.
Well, unless he's doing 8 points of damage or 9 points of damage, he ain't really going or gaining much traction with this line of thinking.
Yeah, you don't even seem, your body doesn't even seem to notice it. So that brings us to the other guy who's, let's see, he's at that, so he's at that many dice to shoot, and he fails to shoot anybody accurately. Which brings us to
Somebody get that gun away from Todd before he shoots somebody.
No, that was the hunter.
Okay. I was just thinking.
Your boys end up start hitting themselves.
Oh no. Oh.
Maybe there's too many of them in a too tight of an area, and they don't seem to hurt each other much. Mostly just a few bruises and what the fucks thrown around. And then the gentleman with the gun, who seems to do better this time. He actually hits. And oh, does he hit? And let's see, how many of that four? He soaks one. He takes aim, and this, you see this round go flying past you and hit one of the other hunters with the machine guns firing. And it seems to hit him pretty well in the upper chest. And he seems to recoil back some from it, clearly shocked and surprised that he just got shot. And we move down to Draven, who's trying to find. Oh wait, we have to need to resolve Jack. Jack, I need you to roll your wit stealth, and I will need Draven to roll. Do you have? What's your Auspex rating, Draven? Draven?
1.
1? Okay. You can roll perception and alertness if you like. Alright, Draven, you are looking around and you're like, where the did he go? And Jack, you slip away. Where are you heading?
Nowhere in particular, just far away from here.
Okay. You head off. Draven finds absolutely nothing, and no one, and anything. So that leaves us back with the boys, beating down hunters, and hunters shooting at guys, and at Maximilian, and... Maximilian, what are you doing?
At this point, Maximilian's going to continue trying to run over this fucker.
Okay, roll your dex drive.
Well, it's not quite much.
Yeah, he was clearly expecting you to try and run him over again as he moved out of the way. And at that, he will open fire at you. Except he's been hurt and he misses. The other gentleman. The other gentleman opens fire at you, and because you were clearly the bigger threat to him, at least in his mind. And none of the bullets. Maybe they get stuck in the driver's seat instead of actually hitting you. Who knows? But they don't actually tear through anything to actually cause you any harm. The other fellow opens fire at one of your guys again, though. This time hurting one of them, quite possibly. And he definitely gets shot, and it in the leg probably, and he's gripping his leg like holy fuck as this bullet goes deep into his leg, and your boys don't take that well, and they wallop him a good one. He says that, so that many. Ooh, does a pretty good damage. How much can he soak? 1, so he is beaten down even further. He's bloodied eye, you know, fractured arm, bruises, cuts. He's taking quite a beating. And that brings us back to Draven. What are you going to do now?
He's gonna look around. Obviously not able to find anywhere. Wonder for himself just.
Can't hear you, man.
You are very robotic-y. A little. Maybe.
I'm gonna have to reset.
And we wait patiently as we can.
Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, cool. You're welcome. He's gonna look around and realize that he's not able to. He doesn't see Jack anywhere, so he's going to return his attention to the combat at hand. See, basically just remain a conquer. See what's happening so far.
Okay, so you're gonna continue searching and doing all of that fun stuff. The boys are even more irate and taking it out on these hunters. The hunters are starting to worry because they're losing. We'll get to Jack and what he's doing in a little bit. Meanwhile, Maximilian.
He's going out. So let me see if I understand this situation correctly. 4 hunters total.
Mm-hmm.
One's beaten into unconsciousness.
Mm-hmm.
One's currently being beaten into unconsciousness.
Yes.
One is missing a gun.
No, the one that was beaten into unconsciousness was missing the gun.
Okay.
because he was the one that was going to shoot your guys initially.
All right. Yeah. Well, then he's gonna keep on keeping on. Um.
All right, and I'm assuming with
So he
running
does make
people over.
connection this time.
Okay, roll me 5 dice, please.
Oh yeah, got him this time.
He seems to take the buffeting. Maybe it's the armor is wearing, the padded gear that he's wearing is taking enough of the impact that he's only a little injured, but he still seems to be getting pretty hurt, especially with that gunshot wound in his arm. So let's see. That means he's down to that many. So when he shoots at you, surprisingly, he may actually hit. Let's see if he actually hurts you. He has 3 successes on his shot. He's starting to try and make these count, I guess. Unfortunately, he just seems to bounce off you. Nothing seems to get to you.
Oh, he's still a little bit wounded. I mean, he's hurt.
The
I'm
other
pretty
gentleman.
sure right now Maximilian has a fair amount of little bits of him and little bits of meat showing.
Oh, yes. And so the other gentleman unloads quite a heavy payload of bullets in your direction.
Right, and that causes another bit of bruising.
Yes, you take another
So,
point of bashing.
so 2 bashing, 1 lethal. Alright.
And so then the gentleman who's been clearly smacked down quite significantly fires another shot off wild as the men continue to beat him pretty viciously. So that's that money. There's 3, and he can soak none of it, and he gets bludgeoned over and over, and eventually falls to the ground in a heaping bloody mess. And the boy with the gun surprisingly still hits the guy. I don't know how, but he did. And for that, he can soak 1 of it. So let's see. Yeah, he looks. See, so that was 4. That makes 5, 6. Yeah, he looks pretty beat, tore up as another bullet hits him. Let's see. Let's see if they can make courage. 1 does. The other does. They're holding their resolve, but you can see that they're starting to look concerned. Really concerned about the way this is going.
What? Hunters or?
The hunters, yes. They've lost
Yeah.
half their numbers, and
They should be. There's a van that lost the gun, that lost half the numbers. Oh, it's just turned into a right old near clusterfuck for these 2, these 4. And they
David,
haven't even gotten to the point of the aftermath yet.
what are you up to? Or are you just going to take yourself out of combat and we'll... Draven?
Sorry, say again?
Are you going to do anything, or do you want me to just take you out of combat since you're...
You can go and take me out of combat.
Okay. In that case, it will be the boys moving on to the next gentleman who looks uninjured as you continue to, or they continue to try and stop you, thinking that these men will stop once they see their leader down. And to Maximilian, what are you doing?
Well, Maximilian's just having the time of his goddamn life. I would have thought that was fucking obvious. And, well... I mean, I'm already in a van. Why not just make use of it?
Alright, roll me
So,
6 dice for damage.
6? Okay.
Yeah, you run him over and hit. You get a good hit, and his head slams hard into that concrete, and you definitely hear a crack, and you're pretty sure the concrete didn't crack under his skull.
Yeah. Right. For fuck's sakes.
The gentleman who's then still up and relatively unscathed fires off more rounds at you, which leaves him doing amazing amounts of nothing. Can you soak one, Maximilian?
I don't think I could soak it.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I can soak that.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you soak. He rolled an 8. Does that count as equality in it somewhere? Yeah.
If that's how I'm playing this, yeah.
The boys move up on him quickly and begin taking their weapons to him. Oh, and they are going to town on him. 5 versus nothing, and he is quickly being beaten down. The gunshot going off across you puts that up to that. And yeah, he gets shot. The bullet entering his head exploding in a mass as your guys just beat him down to nothing. And then there was Draven, and Maximilian, and Jack. And 6 guys that work for Maximilian. Jack has slipped off into the night. Draven searches fruitlessly. Maximilian celebrates another victory over the hunters.
Maximilian, at this point, he falls sideways. Like he just grips hold of his wounds tight, expression pain on his face. And looks to his lads as he's just in there. Tilting his head to his side. Takes a bit of his own blood, pushes it over his mouth, dribble out corner of his mouth. Boys, lads.
They come over checking on you. Holy fuck, boss! Are you all right?
Boys. Fuck. You guys, load him in his van. I'll get rid of him. I just.
You'll be okay, boss.
Oh fuck! No, for fuck's sakes, I've been shot. Fuck. No.
We should get you to a hospital.
No. I'll send you fucks to jail on my account. Fuck.
All right.
Boys. You know, I'll do anything for you, right? Get him in the van. I'll try and lead him off. Get out of here, wash hands. If I make it, I'll let you know.
We won't any of us come with you, boss.
And what, police find us all? Come on, lads. Time is money. You're wasting mine.
Fine. They get the bodies of the hunters and put them in the back of the van.
Right. Shifts it into gear. But you're good lads. A hell of a night. Hell of a night.
And they get back in their cars while you're getting it into gear. And
Jacob. Take care of my vehicle. I don't want nobody scratching the fucking paint. Oh, fuck's sakes. He shifts into drive, and once he realizes most of them are gone, once they drive off, he starts relaxing a bit. Starts driving into... starts here driving and taking this back alleys and taking this to a more secure location, place where he can have some fun.
all right. And Draven, you are you doing anything, or are you just standing around confused and lost? And
He's now that the fighting's over, he's looking around, wondering where Jack had gone, and frowns. Not quite pouts, but just kind of like, well, shit. And he doesn't go off looking for him right away. He looks at the house and looks at the carnage, and then figures, fuck it, I'm not staying around here, and goes to look for Jack.
Your phone starts to ring.
He picks up his phone. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the help. I currently end up having a bed full of these here nitwits. I'm wondering if you want to end up in here making sure that you end up having something to eat. I don't know, have some fun, bash some kneecaps, I don't know. Whatever suits your fancy.
Something to eat sounds good.
Oh, good, because I think I might have leftovers.
Oh. Where am I meeting you?
Well, you're fine. It gives the address to a drop-off point. Now, become quiet. You don't end up bringing any more party favors. I've got some questions to end up asking, and currently I need to end up. Well, I'm going to need what would it be? Fuck-ton bandages, a sling, and a cane if you can afford one.
Thinks about it for a second, nods. Yeah, I should be able to get that stuff.
All right, right. That'll do me great.
All right.
Okay. See you later, Draven.
And Draven heads off and goes to get the thing that Maximilian asked for and meet him at the drop-off point.
Well, it's another one of those houses. Maximilian just seems to have these things all over the fucking place. Nice part about recycling venues, I suppose. Because when you finally get there, you might notice that, inside the living room on top of some plastic. You end up seeing two of them bound and two of them dead. Maximilian at this point is just off the recently deceased, as he ends up seeing you end up coming in near to the door, and that's you in. Ow! Ah, Mr. Verst, pleasure to end up seeing you. Glad you stopped by. Yeah, for fuck's sakes. It's a new fucking suit too.
Javen kind of smirks and shakes his head. I was gonna see if you fit into one of mine, but if you're gonna keep getting them shot up. He kind of smirks,
Yeah, well,
almost playful.
Glad you end up getting an attitude on you, kid. Appreciate it. Now, I want to have some questions to ask.
And he holds out the bag of stuff along with the cane for Max.
Appreciate. First rule when dealing with con driving: always make sure you are set to keep up appearances. So for the next 2-3 weeks, I'm going to be shot. So it means I'm going to be bandaged up. I'm going to be here taking a few days to get out of the hospital. And once I'm in it, and while that ends up happening, I'm going to end up making sure that everything ends up here staying right as rain. So that means we got 2 hunters here. Now, the last time I ended up doing this, well, let's just say that the other blood was involved and he felt a bit of sympathy. I think he knew what these people's intentions were, so I'm very much doubting you're going to show him a bit of sympathy.
Sort of grins and shakes his head. None at all.
Alright. Farewell then. He leans over near the two. His fangs extend a bit. Right. Well then. Maybe now's a good time to get started.
Draven leans over and brushes his fangs over the guy's neck, or grins. Enjoy.
Don't rush it. Lot of questions. Lot of questions.
And that is where tonight will end.